Hi, it's Martin and welcome to episode 8 of my vlogtober series. Wow, where is the month going? It's currently the 20th of October. I'm on episode 8. I'm not vlogging live on YouTube every day. I'm not uploading a video a day. I haven't got time for that with work and I'm not interested enough. But I hope you're enjoying my mini series. The main focus is my Stephen West Shawlography. Yes, it's Mystery Knit Along month. So if you're new here and you're just finding me for the first time and interested in Shawlography, hop back to episode 1 and you'll find out all about the pattern and what I'm making. If you are returning, welcome. How are you doing? I hope that you're enjoying the Vlogtober series. I hope all of you that are making the shawls are having a great time and are keeping up with the pattern or going at your own pace. You know, it's not a race. I've said to lots of you in the comments that you've all left on previous videos. Last year I managed to keep up. The year before, it was mid-December before I finished. It's not a race. It's all about enjoying the progress. And we are in danger. It is Wednesday. We're in danger of not finishing this week. You'll find out as you're going through this video now whether I manage to keep up or not. It's Wednesday, as I said. Mark is in London with work, or has been in London with work. He's on his way home. It's about 6 o'clock-ish. I've got in from work. It's my turn to cook because he's been to London. And I hoped that I would get some knitting done, but I've got an hour and a half-ish till I need to go and pick him up from the station. The current state of play, spoiler alert, I am on wedge 1, and I should get the tripod, shouldn't I? But so we're getting there. I've got to get the blue marker from here to here, and obviously each row is getting shorter. I was going to say each row is getting quieter. Imagine if we had loud knitting. Martin, knit me. Someone needs to invent talking wool because that might actually get me finishing some whips. But I need to get the marker from here to here. And it's Wednesday, which means tomorrow is Thursday, which means the following day is pattern release day. So I need to finish this tonight and I need to start the next wedge. So I'm not going to get it done if I'm chatting to you. And I have to cook tea. I hope that I would be able to do a little bit of knitting in work today and yesterday and kind of take a bit of a lunch break. But things have conspired against me and I've done no knitting during the day. So I've only been knitting in the evening and I only started this wedge last night. So I'm making good progress. This is like one night's worth of knitting. But if I only start, yeah. So you will see if I'm going to be up to date by Friday. Fingers crossed, everyone. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit less knitting this week because I am only on the wedges. That's all I have to do. But I did say I'd do a bit of a wrap up halfway. So I'm hoping to get it finished. We'll be halfway through the clue by the time I finish this week. So we'll have a bit of a way of the wool. I'll grab the shawls. We'll do a bit of a show and tell and see how the shawl is shaping up size-wise. And a few of you have asked to see some of the close-up details. So when I finish this section, we will, I'll do a bit of a deep dive and show you some of the textures that we've got. So I hope that you're well. I hope that you've got your project. I hope that you've got a hot drink, a cup of tea, some coffee, maybe a gin, a beer. I'm going to make some, I don't know, squash, perhaps. I've had a lot of coffee today in work. So yeah, I'm going to grab a drink and I'm going to listen to some podcasts and I am going to try and finish this wedge. So I hope that you enjoy this episode. I'll be back at various intervals to babble on about bits of the shawl. Okay, it is 10 to 7. I'm picking Mark up in half an hour. I haven't started prepping tea. I'm going to cook pasta. I say cook pasta. It's dry pasta, which you put in a saucepan with some boiling water and stir some pesto through. I do need to chop some veg. Yeah. So I'm assembling tea. But I finished that wedge. So, plan, prep tea, go and pick him up, come back, have some tea, and then I can start the next wedge. But yeah, that was a bit productive. It's amazing what happens when you knit and don't pick your phone up. Because I'm notorious for knit a stitch, check my phone. Knit a stitch, check my phone. Knit a stitch, check my phone. As I said when I was doing the old I chords, which is why I think it took me so long to do them. But there we go. Right, wedge one done. Now to get on with some tea. Right, that's the veggies chopped. They're having a bit of a saute. Don't worry, knitters, crocheters, crafters. This is not going to become a food channel. He's just rung. He is 6 minutes away, so let's go and get him. He's getting hungry now. Hurry up, Mark. So it is Thursday evening. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of cooking footage, video. Something a bit different. I was at home waiting for Mark, as you saw. Then he got home and we had a very lazy bowl of pasta in front of the telly while we watched MasterChef Australia. So normal service for knitting has resumed. I don't have my tripod again. Apologies for the shaky angle. So I finished, as you saw, wedge 1. I've started wedge 2, and I did a little bit of knitting this morning before I went to work. So I have this much to go. I don't know how many repeats I have to go. So it's kind of that much from the marker to the thing, to the end of the needle. So obviously every row I decrease 2 stitches. So, yeah, it's going to get quicker. I am going to finish it tonight. Obviously, this vlog started and I said, I'm in danger of not finishing this week. But I am going to finish tonight. But you will watch this vlog on Friday, or this vlog will be available on Friday. I said I want to do a bit of a close-up. I want to do some weighing of the wool. It's about 6 o'clock. I'm going to lose the light in the next hour. And I don't think I'm going to get this finished in the hour. So Thursday afternoon, I'm going to finish the wedge, hopefully. And then what I'll probably do tomorrow, Friday, is film the final bit of this video that you're going to watch now, which shows you all of the details of the shawl. And then I'll do a quick check-in size-wise. So this video will be up probably after the next pattern bit has been released. But you know the details by now. So I'll get this up. And you are now about to watch the finished bit. I'm probably not going to film. You see me knitting this wedge. You don't want to sit me, just watch me going back and forward, do you? So the next bit that's coming up now is probably him doing a final wrap up on this video, talking about the bit of the pattern. So you go and watch that, and I'm going to get back to my knitting. Okay, small disaster. I'm going to show you now. It's 7:30. I've made a mistake. It's not a very big mistake. I've missed a purl row. And I've spotted it early enough that I can fix it. So I think I'm going to undo it, is my plan. Okay, I have already tried to rescue the stitches. So you can see here we have 2 purl bumps. And here we only have 1. So this row that's now on the needles now needs to become a purl bump. So my plan, in theory, is to now drop this row off. And then, if I take it back to there, I can then unravel. And then if I have picked this up correctly, this needs to come, where's the yarn? Right, that one needs to go on the needle, and that one. Aha. Okay. And then I wasn't sure what to do with this I-cord row, so I've shoved the needle through there for a moment, but I need to, right. So if I unpick those, in theory then, that should undo. Yes, so I can then pop those 3 I-cords back on. Obviously thanks to Mark, my intrepid tripod videographer. And then, are these going to undo? No, why isn't that undoing? Why isn't that undoing? Okay. We'll stop filming for a moment because I'm not sure why they aren't pulling back. Right, hang on, stop, we'll be back. Okay, what I had done is I hadn't gone back far enough. I was 1 row out. So I've just taken it back individually. Markers back in place. And I know the marker's in the right place because each of these wraps and turns or short rows are in 2 stitches. So I've made sure that I have 2 stitches, the marker's back on where I've done the turn. And then here you can see we only have 1 purl bump. And here now where I've corrected it, you can see I have 2 purl bumps. So I'm on the wrong side and I am knitting. So I'm just going to make my way back and then I've corrected it. So I don't know if that makes sense to lots of you. I've kind of fixed it. Yeah, I thought I would film it and I would show you. If you're seeing this, it's made it to the edit. I'm not sure if it will make sense when I put it back together, but there we go. This section will no longer have an error. So good morning, it is now Friday and I finished. It's 7:30, I'm sitting in the window because the sun is still rising, so I'm still trying to get a little bit of sunlight. But I finished about 10 o'clock last night. I have a little bit of hand pain. If you've been here for a while, last year during lockdown, I went a bit knitting crazy and I ended up with a problem in my left hand finger. And it turned out to be a little bit of repetitive strain. I saw a chiropractor, she kind of did some stuff with my neck and then sorted my arm out, and I've not had any pain, touch wood, since. Now I've got a little bit of pain down my right hand. I think it's partly to do with the amount I've knit in such a short space of time, because I've got lots of projects on the go and I knit a little every day, but I haven't been knitting like 3 hours every day. So I think partly it's to do with the make along, but I've also been working on the baby blanket squares, and I wonder if it's because holding my knitting on this with short circulars, a long circular to sort of to go back and forth. I think it's a slightly different angle when I'm holding the bamboo needles that I'm using for the baby squares. So I've got a long bamboo needle because I didn't have the right tips to do it on my higher sharps. So I wonder if it's the angle. I'm making excuses. Basically, I've got a pain in my hand, so I just need to keep an eye on that. I've been doing the exercises that the chiropractor gave me for my other hand, so it'll be fine. But I finished. You saw my small drama. The bit I didn't mention is I fixed the stitches by picking up the legs. So when you saw the video, I'd already picked the stitches up and you could see the 2 needles. If you imagine, if that's not a technique that you've ever done before, it's an easy way to insert a lifeline. And if you imagine every stitch as a V, you pick up the right leg, and what that does, I don't know which way the camera's going to show that, but you pick up the right leg of each V, and then when you undo the knitting, all the stitches are safe and secure on the needle. So that was the step I did. I realized when I put the footage in that I didn't explain that bit of what I did. It is a bit messy, that footage, but as lots of you will know who've watched lots of my videos before, this is a very real and honest vlog. It's not edited and filtered. I usually do these in one take, and if I make a mistake, we just plow straight on, you know, that will stay in the edit. So I'm quite happy that I left that footage in. It shows everyone makes mistakes, and maybe will help you find a way to correct any mistakes that you have. But of course, by no means is it a tutorial. I'm not a knitting teacher. But I finished. We'll show you this in a little more detail now shortly. But for the fact fans amongst you, we're halfway. We finished clue 2. Clue 3 is coming today. But from clue 2's perspective, my colour A, this gorgeous burgundy red, I have 70 grams left. Of colour B, I have 64 grams left, plus the toilet roll holder. So of course this one's on a toilet roll because it fell apart. I don't know how much a toilet roll holder weighs, not much, but 64 including the toilet roll holder. Colour C, which is my darkest grey, I have 74 grams left. Colour D, I have 60 grams left. And finally, colour E, I also have 60 grams left. So pretty even. I've got the most colour left of C, so I'm guessing there's going to be a bit of a feature coming of C at some point. And my least 2 are D and E with 60 left respectively. But that makes perfect sense because D and E are actually the 2 that made the wedges. So here we have, as you saw throughout this video, we picked up, we knit from here from bobble 18, we've knit, and then we've done this kind of like rib pattern. So you can see the purl bumps and you can see the stockinette, but rather than it just being a flat garter stitch or a flat stocking stitch, I really like that we've got this kind of ribbing section, and it does echo back to the ribs that we have here in section 1. And of course the overall shape of it is a wedge, which again mirrors the wedge in section 1. So I really like this. I will put this on another cable needle now, and I'll pop a little bit of footage in. Yeah, let's do that now. I'll pop a bit of footage in now, and then we'll come back, and then I can just wrap this video up. I have popped Shawlography onto a needle extender. The great thing about using interchangeable needles is you can add cables to it. So I have popped it onto a long cable. So it's now on a 80 centimeter cable and 120 centimeter cable. So you can see it lovely and all stretched out. And I have popped it on top of the last 2 years. So you can see Shawl Slip Extravaganza from last year is slightly bigger. It's not perfect. You can see there's a bit more down that end, but you can see that Slip Extravaganza was quite a large shawl, and the year before's Starflake is equally as big, albeit a slightly different shape. It's deeper, not longer. And here we are so far then with Shawlography. So we are nearly as, we're not quite as deep yet as Starflake, but we're not that far off it. So it's already setting out to be a large shawl. And of course the shape is this lovely crescent semicircle that we have at the moment. So I wonder how this week is going to go. Are we going to join this up and create more of a crescent moon type shape? Who knows? A little bit of a close-up on some of the techniques then and some of the design elements within the pattern. So you've seen these before, these lovely spines, which will, when blocked out, will stretch out so you can really see all of the colours within the section. Then we went into this slip stitch section with these 3 colour bands, the red, the 2 greys, framed by the grey colour. Then we had the I-cords or the yarn shrimps, which were bonkers to knit, but now I do quite like, very tactile. And of course this goes into these lovely yarn overholes that have got 5 stitches coming out of a single stitch, which creates that really large hole. We then went into this sort of mosaic knitting pattern with more slip stitches but creating the spines. And then of course there's the welted section. So you can see here these welts are kind of rectangle. I've managed to fix some of those, whereas this one here is still very much a triangle. So I do need to pull all of those through and pay some attention to that one and block in. Then we go into this lovely triangle section where we have this triangle here and then the triangle here with the baubles, the Christmas trees on. And then the final part of this week was this section 9, which is this lovely reverse stockinette, almost rib effect. And in my colours, it's very low contrast because this is my colour D and E, which are very similar in colour on the greys. And it would have looked very different if this was a grey with the red, for example, or a dark grey with the cream. But I actually quite like the fact that it's low contrast because it's almost shimmering, because depending on which way you turn it in the light, you can see the dark grey poking through. So it's very, very subtle, and I think that's going to give a lovely effect on the shawl. The one bit that I should probably mention, just in case anyone else stumbles upon this, when you finish this section on the pattern, you should have 4 stitches left at the end. On the right hand wedge, I actually had 5 stitches left. So I just fudged it and I just did a knit 2 together. So I decreased the 2 of them out. So this side was fine, it was 4, but on the other side there was 5. And I've been chatting to someone on Instagram who actually had the same problem. So maybe we both made a little mistake. Maybe it's just something in the pattern. So I'm not sure. For those of you that haven't got to that section yet, if you end up with 5 stitches, I did too. I just did a little decrease. As Stephen said, say yes, don't stress. We'll take the stitch out. So there we go. I wonder if I can quickly spin her over. Excuse the ends. I haven't sorted these ends out. But for those of you that are interested in the reverse, so we've got this lovely spine on the back with the colour change that I've shown off before. Some very simple, just reverse stockinette. You can just see the pearl bumps. The back of the yarn shrimps, the I-cords there. You can kind of see the reverse of the spines, but again, lovely purl bumps. This is the slip stitches that you're seeing, which are the reverse of the triangles. I try to really keep these floats quite loose, so when it's bunched up together, you can see the floats are quite long. I don't think they're long enough for me to put my finger through, but the tension is lovely on that. I like doing colour work and I like making sure that my floats are quite loose, so I was very lucky to try and keep that quite loose when I was doing that section. And then finally here, just the reverse of that wing rib. So there we go. That is a halfway summary of Shawlography, and I will now hand you back to future Martin to talk to you about the rest of this video. So that's probably it for this vlog. It's been a slightly different one. We've been in a bit of cooking. You entertained me while Mark was on his way back from London, so thank you for keeping me company with that. I finished. It was a lot of knitting. I hope that you are enjoying seeing my progress. I know lots of you are knitting along. Some of you are up to date. Some of you are a little bit behind. It's not a race. We do this for the enjoyment of being part of this kind of wider community of make-along people. I love that I'm up to date because I'm enjoying doing my blogging and progress and sharing my progress with you all. So I like the fact that I've managed to keep up to date, even if it has given me a small pain in the hand. But yeah, I hope that you're enjoying your own projects. And if you're not making the project, I hope that you're enjoying seeing mine and have enjoyed seeing some of the techniques and some of the textures. So it is Friday, it is pattern release day, which is great. I am in work, but I'm having an early finish today, so I will come home and do a little bit of knitting later on. This video will be live, if you're watching this as it's been uploaded, will be out on Friday morning-ish, I hope. And I'll do my usual, I'll film some footage over the weekend and I will get that uploaded Saturday, Sunday, depending on when there's something to show you. Maybe even Monday, I will keep you posted, of course, with what Clue 3 has in store for us. So from me and my week 2 finished Shawlography, until we speak again, happy crafting.